So I have returned for the third time today with a change of lighting. I have actually changed the colour of my backlighting to purple because I thought to myself, you know what? Let's change. So yes, I have returned today with the next episode of 3月のライオン. Being episode 5. So yes, things are beginning to heat up plot-wise and character-wise. So hopefully now it can only go from here. And as well, I've heard this episode has a mass amount of fills. So, to be honest, I ain't too prepared for it because man doesn't like fills too much because kind of had enough with just Noragami this month. I don't really need more fills in my life, but apparently episode 5 does bring forth the fills. That's what I've been hearing and what I've been reading, and it's more to do with Ray's kind of like childhood upbringing as well. So, kind of interested to find out where that actually goes because it's one of the things I've kind of been interested about. Plus, as well as that girl who's in the flashback, who he wants to block out, who I've been told is actually in the opening episodes, which I didn't actually realize till recently. I was like, oh yeah. The more I think about it, you're right. So yeah, that's basically that. So what I'm going to have to do first is actually go and get the episode up and running, because I actually don't have the episode up and running in Crunchyroll just yet, because I didn't really think one through. I kind of went down for a coffee, drunk my coffee, and realized, oh, you freaking Christ, I haven't set the episode up yet. So, yes. Do tell me whether or not the chat is working, because I actually have no bloody idea, because chats on Fiend tend to be kind of extremely few and far between them in working. Oh god, what the bloody hell is it? There it is! I have to trudge through the entirety of Crunchyroll to get to it. I had to actually go past ReZero, which was actually last season. And there goes. Ah! Okay. One thing I always wanted to know as well is that, oh freaking hell, what is going on out there? Every single damn stream today. It's always been a guy with a police car. Like, always. There's always that one dude who has the phone on really bloody loud in his car. So you actually hear him actually just do something with his phone. Like, man, just turn your phone down. I don't freaking care what your conversation is. Like, trying to stream up here. But alas, one man cannot stream in peace when it comes to living in Maidstone, in England. Whew. It's a tough time to live here because it's just full of police cars going past because I live on the main road. So yeah, you can pretty much tell I don't really like it here too much. Anyway, enough of my dislike of my own town. Let's get this actual show on the road. So let's see whether or not YouTube is working. YouTube is actually working. Yes, it is. So let's bring this over to here. Let us quickly post whether or not chat. His chat is actually working fine. That is good. That is good. That is good. That is pretty freaking fine. Okay. Let's start this stream in 3, 2, 1. Let us start. Ow. With some of that bump of chicken. That's what I've been looking for. I actually generally think it's actually my favorite opening of the season. Like, I think Drift is a close second. As I'm seeing things, like I wasn't the biggest Bumper Chicken fan before, but I think this show has actually changed that slightly. Because I think it actually is my favorite show this season anyway. This show is bloody phenomenal. Show actually can't actually give us an Anime of the Year award because it doesn't finish until next year, so I actually technically can't give it the Anime of the Year. Because if I actually could give it the Anime of the Year, I probably would give it the Anime of the Year. Actually, it's a phenomenal series. It kind of regained my actual kind of love for Shaft because Nisekoi season 2 kind of killed it. Because I don't know what Shimbo was doing then. Shimbo was kind of out of his mind at that point, kind of like, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with Nisekoi season 2. And I was kind of like, yeah, Shimbo, it's true. You don't know what the hell you're doing. And then, yeah, Shimbo was pretty much like off the rockers in that show. Because that show had nothing going on. So I think it actually might have just replenished my love. I know Shimbo's simply not the main person working on this show. It's actually 2 other directors, Which is kind of interesting because Mal lists him as one of the major things. He technically is a part of the actual production team. He is Shimbo and all. Agreement, chapter 9. I kept thinking on episode 9, but I realized no, we're not. We're on episode like 5. I think my chat's got. I think my actual stream's getting a little bit weird as well. Little Ray's cute. It must be thinking to himself, "Boo, this kid's good." It's just me that this show actually has a very voyeuristic framing. Like, you're almost as if you're there kind of watching. It's a really weird way of explaining it, but it kind of feels like I'm almost there with them. Alright, like 2 minutes in, I'm kind of like, I'm about to cry. There's best girl of the year. Such a weird framing angle as well, when you think about it. You're always told don't ever put too much headroom in a shot, but that kind of just like almost just cut her chin off completely. You kind of allowed more headroom than usual. And still kind of also like the fact of the framing when he's actually kind of walking, he's walking to the right. He isn't like kind of center framed. And while he's walking, it still feels like he's kind of almost like he's trapped. That's the major thing. He's trapped from something. Like his mental hiccups kind of trap him. Like, that's the one thing I always note about it. It's almost as if whenever he's around someone else, that the actual framing changes. I feel like she's gone. I still love the fact they're giving the dogs and animals voices. It's such a good way of just giving a. Oh, oh no! Even the dog feels ashamed. Every single VA is really good at crying in the show. It kind of makes you feel really bad for the characters. Jesus Christ, the color usage in the show is awesome as well. No, Jesus hates Christ. That was a very dark memory. Oh. Oh my god. Well, something serious was going down my neighborhood. Jesus Christ. As I'm pretty damn sure the whole entire thing with him with the screen going black and white is when he remembers something. Oh god, here comes the fills. Here it comes. So I turn my mic off, but just in case the loud thing was too loud. Oh wow, I don't like her. I really don't like her. It's almost as if she's gloating in the middle of a funeral. It's like, why would you do that? Ah, people. So that's how it all came to be. I quite like the fact it still keeps things in the shadows, so it makes you theorize what it could mean. It doesn't actually give out everything on the platter. It kind of just doesn't. It kind of just makes you think still. Even when he was actually tending to Momo's wounds and he started crying, it just cut there. It kind of made you go, then why was he crying? But then it revealed it straight afterwards, because it doesn't tend to keep everything in the dark for too long, but it keeps it in the dark enough to actually kind of keep you intrigued. Excuse me. Which is an extremely effective way of kind of keeping on your toes. Jesus. All right. Jesus Christ. My heart's hurting. This was not the calm down I was looking for. This was actually like not what I was expecting when it came to feels, because there are certain type of feels in this universe when it comes to a thing. I'll get onto it later, but this is the most effective kind of feels. God, I really want to pick the manga up. I really badly want to pick the manga up. I quite like the idea of that presentation of her breaking, literally. Her glass is shattering behind her, just like a visual representation of her breaking. It's a really nice way of putting it. Jesus Christ, that's a really, really kind of dark representation, but kind of really freaking accurate. So that's where it came from. Damn, it's the end of the episode. This show is so freaking good. Oh man, I want more of it now. Oh Christ, that's such a good episode. Why is no one giving this show more credit than it deserves? Like, like, this show deserves the most amount of credits. Like, this actually deserves the highest score, I believe, than Yuri on Ice. I think this deserves the 8.48 that Yuri on Ice has. I think Yuri on Ice is amazing for its own reasons, but I think this is I think this is better for other reasons. I love this show so much. Oh man. Show. Don't get me wrong, Yuri on Ice does deserve the 8.48 it has, but I think it deserves it for its own other reasons. I think this deserves it as well. I think it deserves to be on par with it. Like, it deserves the 8.48. Like, it's almost just too good for its own good. Like, it just handles everything so maturely. Everything is just too good. I have no freaking words for it. My heart is actually really hurting right now. Hearing Ray's backstory in his childhood really is really sad. Why do I feel like I know that artist from somewhere? Like, it kind of feels very reminiscent of an artist I've seen before, like very, very, very famous Japanese artist. Like, it's sort of really rattling my brain. Like, my brain wants to say Junji Ito. Like, my brain wants to say that, but I'm probably know I'm wrong. Okay. Okay, so let's get on to what I was meaning about the whole entire idea of this is the best way of representing sadness. It's because I feel when a show makes you feel really sad from your heart, that's when it's the most effective. When the scene just makes you outright cry, I don't think it's as effective. I think if it gets towards your heart and your heart is really freaking hurting, I think that is when a show has done its job to actually make you feel invested and make you feel like you're connected to these characters. I feel that's the point. That is where it actually begins to happen, because this episode really did have those moments. Like, I almost was about to start crying, and when Momo was hurt, I felt like tears are starting to well up in my eyes, because it's one of those things. I don't want to see anything bad happen to these characters. And it was happening. I'm like, don't let this happen. I want them to live happily. Seeing Momo cry really did kind of really get beneath to my heart. I was kind of like, man, like, this and Kiss My Body only shows this whole entire year that actually had it. I think Orange did it other ways, but this and Kiss Knife, and I think Monster Hunter 100 as well, because it had certain moments of really filty moments, did it justice. Did the whole entire idea of feeling connected to these characters justice, and this episode really just proved that whole entire idea. And let's talk about that woman at the funeral. God freaking damn it. That woman was annoying. I was kind of sitting there going, why would you gloat like that? Come on. Man just died. Grieving son over there. Why would you say those things? Just no. Stop. Just stop it. And other people are actually kind of realizing that as well. Other people are going, God, her attitude is terrible. It's like, yeah, it's because you don't do those things. Just allow them to be able to grieve, and that's it. Don't do those things. It pisses me off. It's like, God, like people just do that sometimes. Like, God damn it, why? But alas, enough of me ranting about how terrible that character was, because it elicited so much rage into me. I was kind of like, I haven't felt this anger since Subaru. God damn. And also now whole episode, I think it's 11 of Orange. Oh, Rage, man. Rage on. But alas, okay. So let's talk about the whole entire episode in a nutshell. Holy freaking Christ, it was so bloody sad. Because it was even sad to see when Ray had a person he called father, and he still kind of felt like he almost couldn't be a part of that family. As if him joining that family was breaking apart the family within itself as well. So if he stayed there any longer, he would devour the whole entire family. So it really was very accurate to actually put the whole cuckoo like kind of like motif, because it very much was him. He was the cuckoo. He was, in theory, being that person devouring the like kind of rest of the people there, only allowing him to be the center person. Because in the end, he really was, to that person, he was a center person because no one else could really beat him. So if no one else could beat him, then what was the point going on with his own family when someone else there, who's not even a part of technically his own flesh and blood, could in theory actually become a pro? It's kind of like, it's really depressing to think about it, because I mean, if I'm correctly, her name was Kyoko. Like, yeah, she's a terrible person because she did beat up Frey. I was kind of like, whoa. Like, I was sitting there going, Jesus freaking Christ, I did not expect this. I mean, from this shot, the beginning of her, I thought, was she a girlfriend or something? Was she, like, kind of a lover? I'm not too sure. But, no, I was kind of like, I was shocked when they actually were showing those things. I was like, I didn't expect this. When she just went over to the window, opened up and punched her, I was like, Jesus. I was like, man, that's horrible. But no, he free was destroying that family inadvertently. Like, he didn't realize it, but inadvertently he was destroying that family because no one else could really match his shoginess, as I would put it. And it's kind of like, it was depressing because he really couldn't call that place home. Though he called him dad, he really just couldn't call that place home at all. Like, it didn't feel as home as it should have done. It doesn't feel as home as you would call, like, I would say, Akari's house. Akari's house still is a place I would call home for him. Nowhere else thus far. Yes, the warmer colors do kind of present that family as kind of as if he's at home, but not entirely connected to home. That's what I'm really kind of getting from that whole entire motif. Is that it just doesn't truly harness the whole entire family aspect. It doesn't really kind of make us say, yes, he is a part of that family. And it was just really, really well presented, I must say. Like, this show really does outdo itself when it comes to stylization. Because, again, I love shows which do take its time to actually kind of just add more to the scenery. Don't ever just kind of present it full whack on the play, like, here's your go, here's your themes, whack straight on there. No, when a show subtly puts themes in there, subtly actually maturely handles those themes, kind of makes you wonder still what's really kind of going down. That's when a show is truly effective. Like, it's almost, the comparison I can probably give it right now, because the only show I can probably think of as doing it right now in England or in America is Westworld. Like, Westworld's kind of one of those shows as well that really does kind of do that as well. It's stylized in a certain way that it presents its kind of like sometimes themes through its visuals rather than through kind of dialogue. It's not entirely led through dialogue. It's actually kind of mostly just led through like scenery. The scenery, the actual landscapes, the way it's framed, the way the colors kind of act upon the scene really do kind of give you the more insight into the characters themselves. That's really the most effective thing about this whole entire show. And the whole entire idea of Ray's past really was well implemented into this episode. But I have to go and quickly check who actually did the artwork for that episode, because it's really rattling my brain, because I think it looks kind of like Junji Ito. That's why I didn't want to say it was him just because I'm wrong. Like, it just kind of, that's why it's kind of like, hey, wait a second here. I think it's much under the line, isn't it? Nope, I can't search it through that. Is it called much under the line on? Okay, here we go. Right, I'm gonna say 5. Right, I'm gonna quickly check this out, because it's always gonna bug my brain. I'm kind of sitting there going, is it him? Isn't it him? Because it looks kind of very reminiscent of him. That's the only thing. It kind of rattled my brain. And I think there was also something else I might have missed. So it's kind of just struck me. The size difference between the daughter compared to the actual family itself. Like, there was a height difference to almost represent how strong she was compared to the rest of them. I think that was another core thing about the whole entire episode as well, which actually was kind of neat. I'm not too sure whether or not I'm kind of correct in thinking that. But I might actually kind of... I don't know. I don't know. I need to know the art. I need to... freaking have a mouse going weird. No, I can't find the artist's name. I swear it's Junji Ito, though. It looks just like him. I kind of just sitting there going, is it him, though? I don't want to say yeah or nay. I'm kind of... It's... Let's have a look at it again. It's very horror-esque. You get what I mean? The very end card is very horror-esque. It's not as if you would find it in your average kind of shoujo manga. It isn't that at all. It's kind of just very, very horror-esque. It kind of very much looks like... Actually, just one way of putting it. Just... No, it's not saying it. Damn it! It's kind of very similar to him. It's kind of bugging me. But no, freaking hell, that's a fantastic episode. Like, every single little thing about it was entirely perfect. It's not one thing I did not like. Every single little detail was so bloody well implemented. It was beyond belief. But here's the thing. Though you kind of feel sorry for Ray in when he's a child, you just want to go out there and just give that little boy a hug because he's not done anything wrong. You kind of inadvertently do feel sorry for the family itself at the same time because of the way they've been brought up and the way they kind of are in it, like kind of are living. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe the bloke was a pretty good person as a mentor, but as a parent, I wouldn't call him the greatest. Like, I don't know, because the way he kind of treated his family, he almost just said, basically, if you're weak, screw off, man, because I don't need you. I need someone who's strong and actually can lead forward. That's why he chose Rainier, because Ray is the strongest person there. Though, when you think about it, strongest in the aspect of he actually can play stroke and actually win, though the strongest person really there was Kyoko, if I remember the name correctly. Like, she kind of was the strongest via strength, but not strongest in the sense of shogi. She was kind of weak against Ray. That's why Ray kind of became the primary person there, and that's why they used the cuckoo motif, because he was technically inadvertently killing off the rest of the family, basically breaking his family apart to a point where they really couldn't ever communicate together once again. They literally were broken off that point, because how could they live with a man who chose someone who wasn't their own flesh and blood over them? Why would they do that? It's one of those things. You can kind of see where they're coming from as well. So it's one of those things. It's a double-edged sword. Ray technically was an antagonist to that family. He is the protagonist of this anime, but he was an antagonist to that family. He wasn't completely the best person there. He wasn't the cream of the crop. He was kind of not to it. He wasn't doing it on purpose. It's a major thing, because he wasn't doing it on purpose, because he told a lie to say when that bloke said, "Do you love shogi?" and he said yes, he said he's a lie. But it's it's the only way he can actually probably get a home that wasn't an orphanage. So that kind of was that. But at the same time, he kind of inadvertently became an antagonist without really realizing it. It's kind of a really, really subtle way of just kind of change the perception of the protagonist that you have as a viewer, because you're kind of sitting there going, yeah, we feel sorry for him because he's getting beaten up and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you take it from the other aspects, he's destroying that family inadvertently, like without realizing it. He's destroying it, and he realized it way too late. That was the problem. That's probably, I think maybe that might be why he doesn't grow attached to people so very strongly, because of that aspect. He doesn't want to destroy a family or someone else inadvertently without realizing it. Because I don't know whether or not he kind of is completely connected to everyone else. He kind of feels a little bit disconnected. So it's kind of that whole entire idea. Yeah, he feels a bit more connected towards Akari's family, but at the same time, I don't think he wants to get entirely involved, invested to a point where he could in theory destroy that family. Like, I don't think he could do it, but I think he might have back of his brain since that whole entire event happened. He's going to sit there going, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be so invested into these people because maybe I might destroy this family entirely. But I don't know. This show is freaking fantastic. Like, it literally is probably the best show of the year. That if I can't give it the anime of the year award because he hasn't finished this whole entire year. It's like same thing happened with White Orphans last year and same thing with Gintama. I couldn't give it the award last year because of that one reason, because it didn't finish that year. It finished a year afterwards. Same with this one. This is 22 episodes long, I think. So if I'm correct, this can't ever garner the award unless I leave it until January. Or update my top 10 list of the year for January. Because I think this and Kiss Knife were the two greatest shows of this whole entire year. I think, yeah, ReZero is good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great series. But I don't think it's the cream of the crop of the year. I think it's probably outbeaten by Kiss Knife and this. I think this has surprised me the most. I think this is actually a phenomenal series that really just took me by storm. I was kind of like, man, fracking out, this show's good. I didn't expect it. I thought I was going to get myself a pretty kind of run-of-the-mill, like, kind of slice of life show. I didn't really expect this show to go this deep. And I kind of sitting there going, I really want to go read the manga, but I don't want to spoil myself. That's the only problem. It's kind of like, I want to go read it, but at the same time, I don't want to spoil myself. But no. Basically, if you just come into the stream like, hey, this seems pretty good, then do go watch it because it's actually a phenomenal series. It's actually probably the best show of the season, probably the best show of the year that I can't give the award to. But I don't know. I think this show just does certain things so brilliantly that I don't think people realize that. I think people I don't know, what's the actual Mal standings for it? Because Mal kind of irritates me slightly. Because Mal's top anime technically is a film. Like, it's like, guys, really? Like, you should police that a little bit better. I don't know, what is Free Gatsu's like, Free Guts, Line's got a 7.86, so it's getting towards the 8s. Don't get me wrong, but it still needs to go higher. Like, it needs to go a little bit higher than what it is right now. Same thing really with when you think about it with Occultic 9. Occultic 9 doesn't really deserve it 6.58 because, yeah, the first episode was kind of a bit rough, but it kind of got a lot better. But alas, where is Kingdom no Wa like sitting right now? I wonder. 8.39, and Gintama has gone to 9.25. That's depressing as well because that show is phenomenal. I think that's what hurts me the most because that kind of got taken down from its like top spot. But then again, when you realize the whole entire thing is Gintama actually occupies most of the top 10 list. I think if Gintama from 2006 to 2010 gets into the top 10, it's basically overtaken everything else. Like, if you combine it all together, it's practically the whole entire top 10 list. I think there's actually like nothing else that's actually anything else like Gintama besides a few shows. But no, episode was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to where the show goes next. So yes, with all that said, I have indeed been the driver. If you have enjoyed my stream as a whole and you do leave a like, then do leave a like because indeed it does something quite a bit. If you have enjoyed my content here and you do leave a sub, then do leave a sub because indeed it does something quite a bit. But until next time, I shall see you guys later. Do not worry because Fune wa Army will be out tomorrow because I had to move this one to today because I wanted to get this one kind of like done before Saturday. So yeah, tomorrow will be Fune wa Army, JoJo, and Drifters. So do not worry. I think everything's back to normal time as well. So yeah, see you guys then. Bye for now. Okay, my thing went a bit weird then.